2. Hey, what's up, Guan? Bonjour, famille. Bump Jonas here, and I'm chilling with
MODO.
Hey, we're about to have a sit down at Syke Studios, y'all. Let's get started.
Let's do it.
All right, man. So look, first of all, I appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, man.
Thanks
for having
your time.
me.
Thank you. Well dressed, by the way,
Thank
man.
you. Appreciate it, man.
You took
I got to show
a
out.
shower and everything,
Yes,
dog.
sir.
Ooh, let me knock you down. Look at that. All right, so I got to get the cliche question out the way.
Yeah.
Who is MODO? What do you do, and why?
So MODO is the artist that I go by, my stage name. I'm a rapper, songwriter, singer, engineer, marketer, graphics guy. I do everything. So
Renaissance man.
Renaissance man.
Holy shit. Okay.
There have been a lot of things recently that I've been able to let go. I've been blessed to bring people in and have good people around me. But
okay.
Starting out, it was all me, and I had to learn everything. First to save money, but then like I wanted to have I'm a control freak, so
okay.
I wanted to have a hand in every little thing, and now I know enough about each one of these little areas that I can let things go. But
because you know what you want.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're big on branding. You're big on like the image.
Yes, 100%.
Okay,
man.
I get it though. You want this shit to look the way it's supposed to look.
Exactly.
All right, you can curse here, by the way.
Okay, cool.
We ain't that fucking clean. Right? He might be, but we not.
No, it's cool. I like to feel things out first before I get into.
I'm fucking with you. All right, so why? Again, a split question, two-parter. Why music and why rap music?
Yeah.
Why?
Music's just always been a thing, man. I don't know, ever since a kid, like just, getting my iPod and being able to have songs that I could just play on repeat. And I had a pretty troubled childhood. And so like those moments of, walking somewhere and, putting on 808s and Heartbreak and just like hearing Kanye or, Recovery's Eminem album was a big album for me, like early teens. It became like a soundtrack and gave me that escape, but also that confidence too, So
okay, it was. That is. I don't want to make it be like, oh, that's everyone's experience, but that is a common thread.
Yeah.
When it comes to music, right? Is that there's a certain safety net.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I like that, especially when you said walking somewhere, listening to music. Yeah. I mean, like, come on, what teenage kid didn't do that?
That's what I'm saying. Do kids still do that though?
Yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Hold on, I asked the question. No,
okay.
I'm playing. But no, that's a great fucking question, though, right? Like, I mean, I guess they do. They go somewhere and then they just walk. No, they don't. They go places and then they just sit there.
Yeah, right? They're on their phones. Yeah. But you can play music on your phone, but I just feel like I don't know, man. That's a different experience. Like just being out in nature, whether you're playing sports with your friends, just going on a walk, riding your bike, and then you have a soundtrack to your experience. It's just a different, warm feeling. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of soundtracks, this is a question I didn't have on a list, but this is one I like to ask people.
Yeah.
I call this the middle school soundtrack.
Okay.
So I need you to give me 3, if possible. Sometimes you folks can only get away with 1, and I understand. Give me 3 songs that would be the soundtrack to your middle school years. Middle school being like what, 6th, 7th, 8th grade?
6th, 7th, 8th, yeah. That's tough. Let's do Stronger, Kanye West.
Ooh.
Inside the Fire, Disturbed.
Ooh,
a third one. Because I can't say M yet because I didn't get introduced to him till high school.
Okay. Yeah.
So, middle school. What else would have been big?
He about the Mandela effect us and put Eminem when he's in high school. Okay.
Dang. A third one. Honestly, that would have been I've never even said anything on this, but I used to like Weird Al Yankovic. Say let's do Albuquerque.
Oh,
that's a solid joint.
What was he parodying on Albuquerque?
Albuquerque might be an original.
Swear.
I think. I really do think.
You might be one of the few folks that actually have listened to a Weird Al original and admit
Probably,
it. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, because he's only known for
his parodying,
right?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I liked his albums and everything.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I just think I love that because it's gonna show in your variety.
Mm-hmm.
And the ballad of Mr. Mania, and then we're not
Yeah.
gonna get into it right now, but we're gonna get into it throughout this conversation. But there's a lot of variety. And one thing I like to do is always stop and give folks their flowers and their accolades. I think it's important for creatives to get acknowledgement before they die,
Man.
right? You know what I mean? But also think it's good to get encouragement along the way. At least acknowledge like, yo, this motherfucker's on the move. And one thing I think you're really good at is just, well, one, your raps, your flows. You have a very intentional and purposeful flow. You
Thank
can
you.
bounce around. You have versatility, flexibility, and adaptability. So you
Thank
got all the ills you need, my man. You're good. You're good. And I love your positivity. Some might say it's aggressive. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's very tongue in cheek at times.
Okay,
You know
there
what I'm
it is.
saying?
You're cheeky.
Yeah,
You're cheeky
yeah,
little bastard.
yeah.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, man.
All right. You say, yeah, man. All right. You do accents?
I sometimes, yeah,
You
I
fuck
do.
with it?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah. I
let's
fuck with
get
accents.
it. Let's get it. Okay. So what is what's a KC breakfast to MODO?
A KC breakfast.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I typically don't do breakfast.
Okay.
I do a lot of intermittent fasting.
Oh,
and so
snap.
I'm a big
Okay.
health guy.
Okay.
So typically, if I eat lunch, I'll eat lunch as the first meal. But there's a lot of days where I go just dinner to dinner.
No shit.
Yeah.
So a lot of like liquids, juices, waters, things like that.
Coffee and just water. Coffee and water.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah.
How did we get to fasting? Like, how did you come across that?
Honestly, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Kendrick, I don't remember which song it is, but he's like, I'm fasting. Oh, it's Rich Spirit. I'm fasting 3 days out the week, brother. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
Okay.
like, I was like, okay, what Kendrick's like, people talked about fasting and it's like Kendrick's doing that. What's that? And then I started looking into it. And then when I did in 2023, the ICARUS album, I did completely sober. And then also, I was like sober for like 110 days. And then I also was fasting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And was also fasting
in that process.
And like, that was crazy, man. Cause
how did you walk into it? I mean, I know obviously you discover it, you learn a little bit about it. How did you approach the actual application of it for you to begin fasting? Did you take it a day at a time?
I just jumped in.
Swear.
I just jumped in.
So he's like,
I'm a rip the Band-Aid off person.
Okay.
Like it's either
go big or
it's
go
big,
home.
which at times can be a problem, in some things in life. But
I love it.
Yeah.
That's the cheekiness coming.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
It is.
Definitely is.
You mentioned earlier that you had I think I heard that correctly. You had a bit of a troubled childhood or upbringing.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that where the cheekiness or the go big or go home comes from?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Because you're like, fuck it, we here now, so we're just gonna do it.
Yeah. My dad's that old school, like,
okay.
You gotta he expected a lot.
Okay.
Which is another Kendrick reference from Mr. Round Big Steppers, Father Time. Oh my God. Every fucking man.
That one got you.
That one hit me. So
okay.
My dad constantly said, what did he say? It was like, if you're gonna do something, do it 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, if you fail, as long as you said you did it at 100%, it's okay to fail. But anytime that I would fail at something, he'd be like, but you could have done better. I'd be like, you're right. But flip side of that is at times when I did achieve, the congratulations and the gratitude from that was absent too. So it became a very, I have a very
it was a one-sided scenario then.
Yeah. It's like nothing is good enough.
Right.
And that's something I've carried into adulthood that I'm working on. But
so how has that informed or influenced some of your music? Like, does it come into your songwriting? Does it come into your process and approach, or
definitely. One thing is like I'm ultra competitive, so I think that goes into like sound picking and like way I write. If I hate anything that sounds like someone else, because to me, if I'm gonna beat you, I can't be you. I gotta be myself. You know what I'm saying?
You would do well in the 90s, sir.
Oh, 100%.
You would do well in the 90s.
100%.
And you notice how he grabbed on that quickly, so he knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
Okay. Ooh, okay. First song ever recorded. Do you
Mm,
recall it, and can we find it?
damn. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you can find. They're deleted. No, you can't find it. But I know I have some from that era, but the very first one, no.
Please
And it
don't.
was there was three I did at once. I think the first one I ever did was a music box from Eminem's Relapse Refill. I think it was on that beat,
Okay.
and I basically just kind of ripped his song
Did
and
your
read yeah,
okay?
and I recorded it on an iPod Touch was the mic,
Oh shit.
and I had like a fucking old school like game rocker chair with the
Yeah.
speakers, and so I was playing the beat through the speakers and recording it on my. It sounded like shit,
But that's
but
hard
yeah.
though. Like, I mean, like looking back later, that's some fire content though.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what
If
I'm
I could
saying?
have that, oh, dude, if I got that video and that
Yeah.
song, that'd be cool.
Okay, that you're okay. So not only yeah, that makes sense then. You're adaptable. You're definitely adaptable and flexible and creative with these
Yeah,
shits. Okay, I like that. That's fucking fire.
appreciate it, man.
All right, so who plays you in a biopic? They do a biography
Who plays
movie.
me?
Yeah,
Oh my god, I never even thought of that, dude. Who would play me?
I'm feeling like Ryan Gosling.
Really, Ryan
Yeah, yeah.
Gosling?
I mean, Ryan Reynolds might be.
Hey, that's man. You compliment me right
I'm
now.
s-
I
I
mean,
don't know.
honestly, the Deadpool kind of character, is kind of my character. Is that
Okay.
cheek? Is that tongue in cheek, like
Okay.
smart ass kind of?
Okay. Smart.
Yeah,
You got a song,
yeah.
Smartass,
I do have a
too.
song on smart ass.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Let me ask you about KC nightlife.
Okay,
I mean, you're here in KC. You're from Kansas.
right.
Um, I'm not even sure what nightlife is like in Kansas, but I know from my experience, and I'm a 40-some-year-old old married man,
Hey, you ain't old yet.
grandkids.
You ain't old yet.
Yeah, I'm seasoned, y'all, but
Season.
I don't really have
Sprinkle
much.
some salt. You
Yo,
season. You
hey, I
season, man.
love it. I
Hey, you
love it.
season.
Um, what is nightlife like here in KC from your perspective?
Um, I'm not a big partier, man.
Okay.
I early on when I first moved to KC, I went out. I did some Westport. I did some P&L, but I've just never been a big like in person partier.
Okay.
I've always preferred like going to bars, like more of like bar and grill, and
Okay.
like getting a group of people, everyone getting some draft beers or something,
Hanging
yeah,
out,
hanging out like that.
sharing
Now,
some nachos and shit.
exactly,
Okay.
food and drink is big for me.
Okay.
I do drink. When I do drink, I drink heavy though. I
Big
will
or
say
go
that.
home.
Big,
Okay.
exactly.
What's your drink of choice?
I prefer beer.
Oh, you're
Just
a beer
I'm
guy.
a beer guy. Yeah,
All
hundred
right,
percent,
all right.
100%.
That's some college. That's a college, a small town.
Yeah, that's
Well,
small
yeah,
town shit.
small
Yeah,
town
that's
college.
small
Yeah.
town shit.
All
Yeah.
right. Ooh, speaking of small town, what's your go-to dance move?
Oh, dude. All right, so my boy Kilo's always roasting me. He says whenever I dance, I just like fucking bend my knees and do this like weird like
Oh,
little
shit, got a
vibe
little
shit.
too
He like,
little.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, all
He says
right.
bend them knees, bend them knees. That's what I do.
Say, homie, that's a pause.
Yeah,
Chill, bro.
yeah. It's a
Chill.
pod. It's a
Chill.
pod.
Okay. Kilo. Stop. Let it go.
Hell yeah.
All right. Ooh. This one's actually a little bit of research. A little bit of research.
Okay.
Speaking of dancing, how does a cowboy dance?
Mm,
When it first comes to mind, does he grab
mm,
his hat or does he grab the belt buckle? Is he two-stepping or is he
mm.
like with do-si doing or some shit?
I feel like, oh, I don't know. That's tough. I feel like he got to grab his hat. I feel like
Okay.
that's part of it.
Gotta
That makes
grab
the
the hat.
cowboy, right? And then
Okay.
he's got to do something with the buckle. He's got
So
to be
it's
working him.
both.
He's working him, man. He's working him.
Yo, why has he got the cowboy going for dollars, man?
Hey.
What the he out here emasculating you now playing
Nah,
cowboys.
nah.
Now playing. Oh, this one's called the chicken or the egg question.
Okay.
And really the point is I want to hear about your creative process.
Okay.
So what comes first? The beat or the lyrics?
Beat.
The beat. You said that
Beat.
quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I can be in a certain mood, but for me to say what I want to say, I have to hear it. Like the beat has to tell. The beat really does tell you what you're going to talk about.
Right. It
You know what I'm
informs
saying?
you. Okay.
Yeah. But I might have a feeling like I might be sad or happy or angry or energetic.
Okay.
And if I can find that sound, I might not know
Ah.
specifically what I'm talking about, but if I find a sound, boom, it's there.
Now you've matched up 2 out of 3 and then you get the okay.
And then
all
it just vomits. You just
He said,
bars, just bars.
and then we just. Well, I mean, that's what Komodos do.
Exactly.
I
Just spitting the
love it. I
fire.
love it. Spit hot fire. Get out the way, Dylon. No. Now, the Ballad of Mr. Mania.
Yeah.
That's an upcoming project.
It's an upcoming album, yes.
All right. Oh, and he said album. This is a bit of a tangent, but that's a distinction now.
Definitely.
Because
it's not a playlist, it's an album.
And not an EP, not a mixtape.
It's an album.
It's an album. So what is an album to you? And then walk us through Mr. Mania.
Yeah. So to me, an album is a complete body of work. It doesn't need to be, there's no like real set track list length for me.
Okay.
For me, an album is from beginning to end, it has a point. Everything's intentional. It doesn't have to be a concept album.
Right.
But it has to have a conceptual
good distinction.
Point. Yeah.
Very good. Because some of y'all are listening to this, you're like, oh, he's talking about a concept album. No, he's actually saying that the sequencing makes sense and that the entire project album is an experience.
Right. There it is, an experience.
Okay. All right. So,
which Mr. Mania happens to be a concept album. So that takes a step further.
So we're back. We're back to concept, but still, this is an album.
Correct.
So what's the vibe on this? I mean, when I hear the Ballad of Mr. Mania, I initially think it's a Mad Hatter kind of guy telling his story of how he got to be mad. But what is the take?
You pretty much hit it
on
the head. That's so
ding,
boom. So you start at the beginning, and you know the first record is Mr. Mania, and it's kind of just an introduction into like me struggling with just I'm a manic person anyway, and then so like me struggling with that and just like where I was at in the process of this, like I'm not really fond of like the industry and all the handshaking and the like I'm just me. I like to create art. I like to present art. I don't like a lot of the extra stuff, so it's coming off of some burnout from that. A little bit of anger, a little bit of frustration, but then also like this ramp up of this creative just process, and that kind of kicks it off. And then going from that, I go through a lot of personal records, and slowly gets through some different topics, and then hits to an interlude. And at that interlude point, the character gets into the car, and he turns on the radio, and then it's this very like ethereal, atmospheric kind of like Mac Millery type rap, where it's just kind of vibing. And then he gets out of the car, and then from that point forward, it's like the switch flips, and he becomes crazier and crazier as it progresses through the second half until the end, where he's actually insane.
What's the don't give it away. Don't give it away. You guys go get the
Get the album. Get the album.
Now, how long do we gotta wait to find out the end?
The first single drops September 6th. I'm playing with the release date. It's nice that everything's so quick now with release. For sure, one single, possibly two. I'm kind of testing out, see how they do. The latest it'll be is by the end of October, but it's probably gonna be early October.
Oh shit, just in time. Oh, now, are you a creepy season guy?
100%. 100%.
You said that quick.
Yeah, man.
So either I'm asking the right questions or you are fully prepared.
Scorpio, exactly. Scorpio.
This guy's like, no, 100% creepy season. All right,
creepy season.
So then, does that mean horror movies over comedy?
Oh. See, that's funny because I don't like horror movies. But you know what I do like? Scary movie. The comedy horror combination.
That would hit.
Yeah.
So you like the world being creepy, but you don't necessarily need to see the movie.
I don't like evil shit, but I like the world being creepy.
Okay, that's a bar.
That's a bar right there.
That's a bar. Okay. You mentioned sports.
Yeah.
What would be? We got a bit of a tangent question here, but the first one I want to ask is, for you, what's the championship of music? You know what I mean? Like we got, I don't know, NBA ring, NFL rings, and Vince Lombardi trophy, shit like that. So, what's that pinnacle of music when it comes to,
I mean, I feel like a lot of people would say like Grammy, but for me, it's not. Because it would be a very weird scenario for me to get into a Grammy kind of conversation, just because I make music that's very connected to personal experience, where I think a lot of Grammy type situations are
Mm.
very marketable.
Oh wow.
Not saying it's impossible, because I mean
But-
you still have artists that get to that point, but I'm not a award searcher. But for me, the Super Bowl for me would be a stadium tour.
Like performing at the Super Bowl. Okay, okay. I like that. That's fire. Look, he wasn't even trying to make a bar, and I'm talking championship. He's like, yeah, Super Bowl. That's okay. The
Super
bar's
Bowl.
just MODO.
Hey,
just be
just
dropping
spitting
this
it out,
shit,
man.
man. All right, this question is called First Cosign.
First cosign.
And we're not talking about a car.
Okay.
We're talking about when you first finish a song or a project,
Uh-huh.
album, The Ballad of Mr. Mania.
Yeah.
Who's the first person that gets to hear it?
I mean, I don't necessarily go to like one person. I think it's
Okay.
anyone in my team that's like around. I'm through the process. I'm showing
Okay, okay.
things, you know. So like, anyone in my circle, really.
So there's little bits and pieces like, hey, what do you think about this as you're developing
Yeah.
and going?
And I know like certain people are gonna gravitate towards certain songs. So like, if it's a weirder one, this person might like smoother stuff. So I'm not really gonna be like, hey, you should really like this one, you know? Yeah.
Because you already know, like, he's not even gonna.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So you're very, very intentional. Like,
Very much.
and even calculated. Is there?
Oh,
is that
100%,
it?
yeah.
He said, "Oh,
100%. 100%.
Oh man, I am striking chords today." He's just like, "Yep, that's it."
Either I'm just really easy to read, or we're just connected on that level,
I'm gonna go with the connection.
Yeah.
I don't think you're that easy to read. You have. I mean, yeah, no, you're not that easy to read. You have good energy,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you have a kind of a stoic situation where it's like you're not gonna know that. You know, I'm not saying you are, but maybe there's a car out back down by the river that he's sleeping in. We would never know.
There's a couple dead bodies in there. Don't check it out, man. I swear to God.
There's the accent. There's the cheekiness came through. Ooh, what is stage presence to you?
Oh, dude, stage presence. Like, I love performing. I'm all over that shit. Like, front, back. I'm in the crowd. I'm on top of the speakers. I'm like, I wanna deliver like just an experience to people. I don't want to sit up there and sing or rap. Like, I want to feel it. I want you to move with me.
Okay.
Like, that's a big power too to have.
Right.
And once you can command a crowd like that, oh, that's different, man.
Yeah.
That's different.
You can just turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Did you like have any specific training or I don't know classes or because you have a very I don't know again the word intentional comes to mind, but you seem to have a way of knowing what to do and how to approach things when it comes to your music. So did you have mentors or anyone or any kind of like
I'm a student of the game.
Okay.
My first album, I've had a couple people throughout that I've learned tidbits from.
Okay.
But like as far as like really figuring this out, like my first year and a half, I knew I could write, but I also knew I didn't have a voice developed yet. I knew I didn't really know how to do my own flows. I was just basically copying other people's songs.
Okay.
And this is like my first series. This isn't like I'm not talking high school when I just just messing around.
Right.
So what I did was for like 2 or 3 months, I picked a different legend.
Okay.
And only listened to them and watched all their interviews, watched how they performed. And so like we went through Tupac and Biggie and M and Kendrick and Cole and Drake and Kanye and Jay-Z, and we just each person had a week, and I just studied.
Okay.
And just soaked it all in, and like there's things that each one did that I could take from.
Right.
And so I think it's I'm just an amalgamation of all the artists.
That's a fire word, y'all. I just
amalgamation. Look it up.
I only time I see that word is like in an X-Men comic book type
hell
shit.
Yeah,
So
hell
that's
yeah,
fire, man. Ooh. Now I noticed in a couple of your online social media flicks, you got a cowboy hat.
Yes.
Okay, so and you just came from Nashville?
Yes.
Okay, so I definitely gonna be rocking a cowboy hat out there.
Yeah.
What makes a good cowboy hat?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. That one I bought for that video was my
Okay.
first ever cowboy hat. I'm not gonna lie.
Even out of Kansas?
Yeah, bro. I like, and see, that's the thing about that record is like we intentionally did that. Well, I guess I intentionally did that verse with it's a rap verse
Mhm.
on like dance hall beat, but I
Okay.
have country words I say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's and with how marketable country is right now,
yes.
I don't really vibe with country music necessarily, but if I can make something that country fans can be like, I like that.
It works.
Boom.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. He's like, come on over here. Because
Exactly.
once you got him, you got him.
I got him in, yeah.
And the thing about your music, again, the variety and the vibe, there's a little, it sounds cliche, but there's something for everybody.
There is.
You know what I mean?
There is.
Ooh, hey, we got to pay a couple bills here, guys. So, got a question or two for you
Okay.
from my sponsors.
Okay.
One of them being Pig Witch. Right there in the heart of River Market. Go down and check them out. Off-menu specials available all the time. You never have to ask any kind of weird question because it's right there listed for you. Just pick it out and go grab it.
Get you some Pig Witch. It's good.
You see what I'm saying?
I've been there. It's good shit.
It's been MODO stamped.
Exactly.
Boom. All right. So, off-menu items. I'm sure you kind of handled those a few times, right? You've seen some places where it's like, there's a little something there, but you're not sure. How would MODO go about asking for an off-menu item?
Does it gotta be Pig Witch or can it be anywhere?
It can be anywhere.
It can be anywhere? Okay. So when I grew up, I used to work in restaurants and fast food. And Dairy Queen, I'll tell you right now, we used to bring in our own Pop-Tarts and we'd freeze those. And then once they're frozen, we take them out, we put those in blizzards. A Pop-Tart blizzard, I'm telling you. If you got a homie that works at Dairy Queen or a family member,
Come on.
get you some blueberry specifically. That's my favorite.
Blueberry
Pop-Tart blizzard.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There you go. That's that comes up a lot. A lot of folks like, hey, I don't care what you got on the menu. I want you to make my customized.
Yep.
Like, okay, I see. And there's that control, that Scorpio. I love it. All right, this one might be tough for you as a Scorpio.
Okay.
This question comes from Thrax Pastry. Nothing for sale, just a suggestion of where you can spend some time. You're definitely going to enjoy it. All right. I want to ask, this question is called the apology dish.
Okay.
The way this works is, let's say somebody pisses you off. We'll pick on Kilo.
Okay.
Sorry,
Kilo.
Bend those knees and shit. Goes too far. And you're like, bro, I'm done with that.
Yeah.
All right, but he says all the right things. And y'all are cool again. Go back to making music, hanging out or whatever. But what's that dish that he can make? Or buy, bake, whatever. Doesn't matter. Sweet, savory, breakfast, lunch. Probably not breakfast.
Yeah. An apology dish.
That, lets you know, like, nah, bro, you get me.
I'm a big food person. This is tough.
Ooh,
this is tough.
They got to come correct.
They got to come correct because I'll be chefing too.
Oh,
I'll be chefing at home.
You said that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's, honestly, even some good old tacos. I can rock with some tacos. They're easy. It's hard to make a bad taco. You know what I'm saying?
He said, look.
It's hard. Hey, look.
Look, you already fucked up.
Yeah, man.
So let's not make it worse.
Don't bring me shitty food after you fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that is pretty bad though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you already pissed the person off. Even if you've apologized, if you bring up
it's like, is this what you think of me?
Right.
Are these the tacos you give to your mother? Like, what the fuck?
Yo,
you know
don't give nobody floppy tacos. That's bad. Oh my Lord. All right. So, studio feng shui.
Okay.
What I mean by that is, what's something that has to be in the studio, and what are some things that cannot be in the studio in order for you to feel like you had a good session?
Okay. Things that cannot be in the studio is not an item. It's the people that don't contribute.
Ooh.
If you're in a studio, you are either intentionally listening and giving feedback. You're an artist. You got to be doing something. You can't. I don't like the sessions where the homies or the girls come through and they just sit there. It's like, nah, this is a work. This is a job.
Right.
It's a fun job. It's a really fucking fun job, but it's a job. So
come on, y'all. Like, That's real.
Come on.
All
We
right.
doing this shit for real? Or like we're gonna play it in the studio? You know what I'm saying? Like
Because otherwise, we don't have to spend no money on this. We
exactly.
can just go buy some beers and hang out at the house studio.
Which I'm cool doing, but like when I'm working, I'm working. So
I love that. I love that. That's that intentional shit. All right. So what are some things that have to be there?
Have to be there. Damn, that's a good question. I don't know, because like I've done sessions where it's just myself recording myself and writing. I've had very deep intentional songs from that, and then there's sessions where I'm not a really big item person. I'm kind of a minimalistic person.
As far as what you need, you get in there and get it done.
Yeah. If the song requires drinking, cool. If the song requires sobriety, cool. It's all dependent on the thing, I guess.
So are you a method actor?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I'm a method actor, which is crazy because these characters, they start taking over my fucking life when I'm in them, which is crazy.
So let's get to that. I want to talk about the characters because the Ballad of Mr. Mania.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned ICARUS.
Mm-hmm.
And then MODO.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, we know MODO. MODO's the Komodo.
Yeah.
The spitter.
Yeah, the spitter.
All right. So Mr. Mania is a madman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then is ICARUS the youthful hero that goes too far? Break down these. First of all, why do we have different characters? What's going on?
Why do we have different?
You okay?
No, I'm not. I feel like that's a life, or art imitates life.
Okay.
I feel like these are different ways for me to communicate, because at times I feel like I communicate with people better through the art.
Okay.
And like if I'm going through something bad, I can really take that and mold it into this, like Mr. Mania is like he's not evil, but he's like the bad.
Mm-hmm.
And so like taking the bad shit and turning into that. And then ICARUS was like a very sober, fasted, higher purposed orchestral being that was kind of like a hero, like a savior. And then MODO is just like the rap guy. So he's more down to earth and relatable, but it just depends on, it's all me expressing myself,
right,
just through characters.
I love this though.
Yeah.
So okay, then is there another character coming up? Or you develop? Better yet, how do you know or realize when you started developing another character? And you know what I mean? Because he's gonna get a name, right?
Yeah. Damn, I don't know. I feel like I'm already in it, and then I'm like, oh, this is something,
right?
You know, like, because like ICARUS, I just started off with like picking these very just grand sounding, a lot of choir vocal samples, and like the flow's very choppy and in between, and everything just felt very airy.
Okay.
And so I was making it, and I was also sober, and everything was just like, okay, this feels very almost ghost-like and just floaty. And I was like, okay, so white. Okay. And then I started, okay, what's something? And then I realized the story I was telling with it was me fucking up and then coming back down and realizing it. And so it's like I died and I'm this ghost, but I'm like a good ghost.
Oh shit.
So the story of ICARUS to the sun and falling. And so it just happens.
That's ill.
Thanks, appreciate it. Thanks.
That's some hip hop shit, y'all.
That is some hip hop shit right there.
Because he just kind of like, he basically remixed the story of ICARUS.
Yeah, pretty much. I said take a little Greek, take a little hip hop.
Yeah. I'll fuck with it, man. All right. Ooh. How do you know when a song is done?
It takes a minute. It's like I'm a perfectionist, control freak, all these things. So it's like, first to have the writing done has got to be top notch, and then it's like, okay, now we go to the studio, and I like to go through it and like get all the recording done. Do I feel like all the vocals are there? Okay, boom. Now let's go through the mixing. Do I like how it all sounds? Are there any transition? Very big on transition. That's something I learned from what's the guy that did the Unlocked project with Denzel Curry?
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I don't give me the line on who did it though.
he has that one show where he brings people in the studio and they make a song.
Kenny Beats.
Kenny Beats.
Kenny
Yeah. So
Beats.
Kenny Beats. One thing he was talking about was just how important transitions are. And so not only in instrumentation but vocals as well. If you're gonna leave dead air in a transition, it has to be very good. Like it has to be intentional dead air.
Right.
If you're gonna echo it out, it has to echo and flow or die right before the next one hits.
Right.
And so boom, if the vocals are there, now we're looking at transitions. Now from that point, how do the vocals sound themselves? Now we go into that, and once everything's done with that, okay, now let's put it as a package. Let's go into the mastering and just like step by step it.
And
so
now then we get to the rollout.
Then we get to the
Because I
rollout.
imagine that's complicated or not. It's very intentional.
Everything,
you have a very business mindset when it comes to your music.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked about the song process, because it feels step by. And look, guys, it feels step by step, but it actually just flows.
Yeah.
Because you've done it so many times.
Exactly.
You have such a
It's like what's muscle memory almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. Sports reference.
Boom.
This guy's an athlete.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ooh. How many artists can you have at a party before it turns into a networking event?
I feel like 5. Anything after 5, it starts getting real.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Starts to get that scene kind of feel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a good one.
I think 5's a solid amount. Because 5, you could you have a party of 20 people, then you can space it out. 4 people to each artist is a solid
little
like party, not necessarily like marketing event.
Yeah. Now we're all trying to get our name out.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to touch on something. The song Guest List, which is a dope song.
Yeah.
There's reference to you being white.
Yeah.
And then there is some reference that you have to work twice as hard. So are you fighting against a handicap? Is that a good way to put it? No, that might be offensive too. Damn.
Nah, I'm not. Here's what it is with the white in rap. I'm able to grow a lot quicker and market to a larger base because I'm white.
Okay.
Just because, like, even today, even though we've broken past a lot of the racial stuff.
Yeah, because that's kind of not looked at, but it kind of is a thing.
It's just it's a subconscious thing because when you art, movies, why representation is important and why I think now they go too far with the inclusion. But why it's important though is because like when you see someone that looks like you, you're more apt to buy into it. So with America having more white people than any other race, when they see me, I'm able to reach more people. That's math. But on the flip side of that, to gain respect by the culture, I have to work twice as hard. Boom.
That's real talk though.
Yeah.
Because that is your reality, right?
Yeah.
You know,
and that's the point of that song is like it's poking fun in a way at the people that focus so much on it, which is why I do those vocal samples at the beginning and stuff.
That's what I thought, yeah.
We're putting so much attention on this. So I was like, let me do this thing. And that's why in the hook, it's like, I'm saying who's around when that sounds in a slip knot. Like the slip knot, you pull it and so it's a weak knot.
Yeah.
So when hip hop's weak, who's doing hip hop?
All right. I want to ask, is talk really cheap?
Depends how you talk.
Oh.
Depends how you talk.
Oh.
It is if you don't know how to talk.
Come on.
Man.
Come on. Yo, we stopping the interview right now. It's done. It's done. We can't. We stopping on a soundbite. I do have one last question I want to ask, and it's something that I ask everyone. You may have even heard this before. When the song is over, when the album is done, when Mr. Mania, when the ballad of Mr. Mania comes out, and people get to hear it, and they get to see you perform it, what is it that you want them to walk away with as far as the experience of MODO, the artist, the entertainer?
I want them to understand me as I feel like a lot of people look up to me because from where I've come from, what I've been through, and I often get put on a pedestal that I don't feel like I deserve. And I want people to understand that I'm human. I want people to understand that this industry is a freaking beast that will eat you alive if you really try to do it the right way.
Mm.
I want people to be intentional with what they do, and I want people to realize that to make real art, you got to be a little crazy.
Ooh, come on, y'all. Come on. That man, yo, this has been a bar heavy interview for real. And this is where I get into kind of my accolades. A lot of who you are shows in your music.
Yeah,
And you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
without you, you don't even have to say it. And I mean, I guess it helps to let people know, but what I love about what I hear is that you really do show a lot of the different variety and faces of Modo,
mm-hmm.
right? And so, again, I just want to thank you for that. Well, your vulnerability in your music,
Yeah,
your approach, and that aggressive positivity. Fuck them. I
yeah,
like it, man. I
yeah.
like it. I like it. Is there anything you want to let the folks know before we get out of here?
I want to let the people know that one, buy the album. We gotta support artists. Streaming's cool, but we gotta buy the album. Also, I will be releasing a Manic edition for the album.
A manic edition.
A Manic edition
Oh
where
shit.
the set list is switched,
Oh
so you get a different experience.
yeah.
And there will be an additional song that won't be on streaming on it as well. So you can get the standard or the Manic edition
With
through
a
my merch
deluxe.
site.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And you got a website.
Yeah.
Right.
MODOmerch.com. MODOmerch.com.
MODOmerch.com.
Yeah.
That kind of sounded like an 80s commercial. I don't know.
MODOmerch.com.
For 1999.
Yeah, for
fucking week.
I need
All
to
right.
make infomercials, bro. Oh shit.
Come on, man. Get
You know
with
what
that
I'm saying?
shit. All right, y'all. This has been a hell of a conversation. We had to sit down in Syke Studios. Bump Jonas here chilling with
Modo.
And y'all, I'm telling you, be on the lookout for the ballad of Mr. Mania. You need to go back and study up on ICARUS and just get in touch with Modo. I always like to say that it's easy to click the link in the bio, right? Well, now you know about him. You know what his breakfast is like, or lack thereof. So go check him out. You know what I'm saying? Go tap in. We appreciate y'all. And as I always like to end every segment or conversation, love yourself like you try to love the world. Do something to earn your place in the world this week. Just be a dope motherfucker. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
Be on the lookout for the ballad of Mr. Mania. You need to go back and study up on ICARUS and just get in touch with Modo. I always like to say that it's easy to click the link in the bio, right? Well, now you know about him. You know what his breakfast is like, or lack thereof. So go check him out. You know what I'm saying? Go tap in. We appreciate y'all. And as I always like to end every segment or conversation, love yourself like you try to love the world. Do something to earn your place in the world this week. Just be a dope motherfucker. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
There we go, man.
That was great, man. Good shit.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That went a little longer, but I was like, nah, it was just flowing. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to cut you off. Man.
Yeah,
You
no,
was
no,
going.
yeah,
You
yeah.
was going.
Bro, I talk. So
No,
you
and
know
you
what I'm
speak
saying?
well.
Close up.
Yep. Oh, here's another one. That one. If you did Indelibly Rudy, he works with him as well too. Heart of the 50 podcast. Here we go. Here's another one. I-70 podcast. John Little. Super dope brother. That's a good story. That's a good one.
Hell yeah. Now if I can get 10 solid And this is 3. So if I can get to 10 solid interview media pieces,
you'll have good content
I'll
for
be
a while
straight.
too.
Yeah.
My goal is to always so in this case we talked about the project because it's coming up, but I always like to weave in more than the project because I like to do evergreen. Essentially, you can weave it anytime.
Yeah, like the food and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because I think it's important in between time. So when the Ballad of Mr. Maniac drops, by the way, I'm sorry I fucked it up and that part out with that. Like once it drops, and I think you do, but a lot of artists that good, they'll drop, and then that just it was like, okay, so
That's when the heaviest part begins.
yeah, I need to know the project, and I need to know what you're doing after the project, in between the next project. Like there needs to be a story. I don't get a story, then why am I doing it? Just so I can listen to the music every
Yeah.
And you miss enough music so quickly that now I'm lost. I have no line to put any of this together. It's just a lot of music. Oh, okay. So this guy just sits in the studio and makes a bunch of music. That's it. That's it.
And everyone's and
not that that's bad, but it's like I need more.
The thing is like, it's really cool what Russ did for independent artists, just giving them the key, but he also fucked a lot of shit up.
How so?
Because he's got everybody still convinced that it's put out a bunch of fucking songs, but it's hard to really buy into someone when it's just song after song after song after song. Like, I feel like it's almost better now, because when Russ was doing that, it was still a very much like blow up algorithm kind of place, whereas now it's a marketing world. And I feel like people would do better if they'd go back to projects. Because then you can give people something to hold on to, and they might find 1 out of the 5, or 1 out of the 7, or 1 out of the 10, whatever.
With that.
Exactly.
Like you said, you got that one song that you love that you put on repeat.
Yep.
People, my wife, I'm always like, oh, I love this song. Play it again.
Yep.
I play the same song 3-4 days in a row. But
third week comes around, you're like, oh, okay.
I'm gonna put my earphones on. Let me know if you need me.
But yeah, no, that's kind of been my campaign. Let me tell the story. Let me get you guys talking about the stuff that you do. Whether it's a project coming up or you're just talking about what MODO's up to in between the project. Yeah, that's how you get the fan base, but you got to keep them.